Welcome to Jacket Talk on LEB TV.
We are back with another episode of Jacket Talk on LEB TV. Big shout out to all of our amazing sponsors, Ginger Wellness, Mercy Hospital Lebanon, Mid-Missouri Bank, and Jacket Nation Sports. Their support makes it all possible, bringing you guys the best news of Yellow Jacket sports possible. Before we get started, just wanted to remind you guys that we're having our community tailgate this Friday, September 13th, at the Gardner and Smith Insurance parking lot located right across from Lebanon High School, 1431 North Jefferson. That will be starting at 5 o'clock p.m., and we will have our live Jacket Nation Sports pregame show in the parking lot with Trey Overstreet, Zach Miller, and myself. There will be free food, free drinks, music, and even inflatables from Scott Event Rentals. So a big thanks to all the amazing sponsors that are making this possible. Come out and support, wear your black and gold, say hi to us, and we hope to see you there at Gardner and Smith Insurance starting at 5 o'clock p.m. this Friday. Let's dive into the action and catch up on what we missed from this past week. The boys swim team competed at the Foster Natatorium in Springfield twice over the past week. Head coach David Krev has been incredibly impressed with the group of guys that they have out. They'll be back in the water, back up in Springfield for the next couple of meets as they look to put together some state qualifying times and keep improving on what's already a great season for the Yellow Jackets. The Lebanon boys soccer team hosted the First State Community Bank Kickoff Tournament last Friday and Saturday. Lebanon went 1-1 on Friday with a 1-0 win over the Sullivan Eagles before falling to West Plains. Lebanon then played on Saturday and lost to Southern Boone by a score of 2-1. Lebanon went on the road to Marshfield on Thursday where they recorded a big 4-0 shutout win over the Blue Jays. Chris Kilburn and the Lebanon defense helped net a shutout. Lebanon goals were scored by Jacob Reagan, 2 goals from sophomore Trent Penner, and senior Micah Perryman netted his first varsity career goal, so congratulations to Matt Jernigan and his team for the big road win. Lebanon will play at Crocker on Thursday. Lebanon softball got a win over Cuba last Thursday by a score of 19-11. The softball team has stayed incredibly busy with games against Neosho, Rolla, and Webb City, and then they'll host Republic tonight at the Lebanon High School softball field starting at 5 o'clock, so come out and support the Lady Yellow Jackets. Moving over to the tennis court, since we last talked, the Lady Jackets have had 3 matches and will have one today. Lebanon has recorded wins over West Plains and Joplin, fell to Ozark earlier in the week. Ron Kroll has been incredibly proud of his girls and the job they've done so far. During their win against West Plains, head coach Ron Kroll praised Opal Antozeski for her win, calling it the biggest win of her career in singles play, and also gave praise to Hope Cox and Lily Bradbury for their wins against the Lady Zizzers. The Lebanon cross-country team traveled to Bolivar on Saturday for their first meet of the year. The girls' team placed 7th out of 38 total teams on Saturday at the Richard Clark Invitational, while the boys' team finished 14th. Individual medalists included Abigail Tague, who finished 4th out of 337 varsity runners. Lebanon will host their only home meet of the season this Saturday, September 14th at Nelson Park, starting at 8 o'clock in the morning, so come out and support Josh Smith and all the cross-country runners. Also, a huge shout-out to the Lebanon Middle School cross-country girls team. They placed first at Bolivar on Saturday. The girls' golf team has had a solid week, placing first at the Seymour Invitational last week with a team score of 376. Newcomer Natalie Skoufis has made an immediate impact. She took 2nd overall at the tournament, along with Alexis Hapner, Carson Henson, and Emily Hopkins, all breaking 100 for the first time in their varsity careers. Head coach Lindsay Darnell was extremely proud of the way that her girls have played last week at Seymour. Lebanon Volleyball has had 2 big wins in their COC debut. Last week, they traveled to Joplin on Thursday, where they defeated the Eagles in straight sets and defeated the Neosho Wildcats at home on Tuesday night in front of a large crowd at Boswell Auditorium for their 2024 home opener. A big shout out to Missouri Cooperage for sponsoring the 2024 Lebanon Girls Volleyball hype video made by Brian Swino with Swino Visuals. That will be played on the big board before every home game during the volleyball season. Senior setter Morgan Durbin eclipsed the 1,000 assist mark for her career against Camdenton earlier in the year, but she was recognized before the start of the varsity game for her tremendous accolades, so congratulations to Morgan Durbin on eclipsing 1,000 assists. Lebanon Volleyball will be on the road to take on the Webb City Cardinals tonight, one of the bigger COC games for Jenny Collins and her squad. A tough loss for the Lebanon football team on Friday night, losing to Joplin by a score of 21-17. Lebanon led 14-0 at halftime, but were unable to hold on to the lead as the Eagles scored a go-ahead touchdown with 22 seconds left. Lebanon did drive the length of the field and have a chance to win it on the last play of the game, but the incomplete pass fell short, moving the Jackets to 0-2 on the season as they look forward to the Neosho Wildcats this Friday, September 13th, a home game starting at 7 o'clock p.m. If you can't make it out, as always, you can check out our stream at Jack and Nation Sports. We go live at 6:45 p.m. with Hall of Famer Kevin Stubblefield on the call. At halftime of Friday's game, Lebanon will honor Junior Smith into the Lebanon High School Football Hall of Fame. Smith was a standout wide receiver during the early 1960s. He led Lebanon with 790 receiving yards, earning him a spot as the fourth all-time leading receiver in Yellow Jackets program history. Let's hear from Kevin Stubblefield, who is down at Buzzcuts with head coach Will Christian for their weekly interview on Jacket Talk, and then it will be Trey Overstreet sitting down with Lebanon offensive coordinator Brian Summer to break down all the key offensive plays from Lebanon's 21-17 loss at Joplin last Friday night. Thanks for watching. Until next time, go Jackets.
How much has your bank paid you? We've paid our Kasasa account holders more than $7 million since 2017. Open an account in minutes to get in on the earnings today.
My name is Jaysha Connor, owner and nurse practitioner here at Ginger Wellness. I believe that sometimes healthcare does too much, and I believe that's where wellness centers can really bridge that gap and really give people some confidence in natural ways, healthier ways, to really improve quality of life and to get healthy.
We want to feel better and live better lives. It's not about quantity, it's a lot about quality of your life.
Ginger Wellness is where I went to get my quality of life back.
Welcome back to Jacket Talk Overtime from Buzzcuts in downtown Lebanon. Again, thanks to Mel's for providing us lunch today as we look back to last Friday's trip to Joplin for the Yellow Jackets as the Eagles came away with a 21-17 victory. Coach C, that was a good high school football game in the COC, big crowd at Joplin. Eagles rallied late in the fourth quarter. I thought your football team overall had a good showing.
Yeah, I would agree. I was really proud of our kids. I thought we made some improvements. Obviously, there's still a lot on the list to improve. They're playing with a lot of heart and guts and effort and physicality. Lebanon has a lot of reason to be proud of our kids right now. And I'm very grateful for all the people, Kevin, that came to the game and watched on Jacket Nation Sports. Our following has been really, really good. So we're very grateful for that. And it was a big crowd. You know, one of the things that I talked about this weekend with some people is that, you know, if there's a lot of changes with the conference, but one of the things is just the atmospheres people are going to notice are going to be quite a bit different. Every game is going to have big crowds, and that's a lot of fun. Makes it pretty exciting. I talked to our kids about that. That's it's a lot of fun to play in front of whatever 5,000 there was at Jung Stadium on Friday.
What was different this time to Joplin compared to some of the other trips was your football team got off to a good start on Friday night and led the game 14-0 by halftime.
Yeah, usually we're down 21, right, Kevin? Seems to have been a norm down there. Got off to a good start. We didn't capitalize on every single opportunity. And then, of course, in the second half, kudos to Joplin. They got momentum. They seized momentum and took advantage of it. Thought they did a great job of adjusting. Their coaching staff did. And we fell short. But be valuable learning for us as coaches and players as we move forward. Certainly, this is an excuse, but it's real. Our depth roared its head just a little bit as potentially we ran out of gas a little bit late. And so that's something that I think we will continue to improve as weather changes and guys get in better game shape. I think that will continue to grow as well. And then, of course, we've got to learn how to finish as a football team. And our kids are really close. We're really close to that. And then another key thing too, Kevin, is, we can't have 180 yards in penalties. That's almost as difficult to overcome as the -5 the week before. And so those are a couple of things that we did a much better job in the turnover differential, but but certainly in the realm of penalties, we've got some work to do.
How much work was invested last week leading up to Joplin in ball security and trying to prevent those turnovers?
Well, we invest in that every week. Certainly that continued and will continue. We also spend a lot of time on creating turnovers, teaching our kids how to strip appropriately, punch the ball out, how to recover a fumble, scoop and score, tip drills in the back half. So there's a lot of work done not only with ball security, but also in creating turnovers, which we've got to also do a little bit better job of. We were even this week, which is great, but we've got to create more turnovers, and certainly we'll continue to strive forward on that.
You talked about finishing a game like that on the road at Joplin, and there were opportunities for you to maintain possession of the football there in the fourth quarter, which would have finished out the game in your favor.
Without question, and as I mentioned, kind of segueing into this, penalties were to our detriment a little bit on that. Certainly, in the last possession when we were set to go for it on fourth down, I have no doubt we would have gotten that first down. We got a penalty, and then we're in a spot where we have to punt there, and so, that's just something that we really got to focus on, the fine details of why the penalties are happening and improve.
First quarter, you drive 62 yards in 7 plays, a little over 4 minutes. Beckett York with a 1-yard touchdown run. Then Jackson Glendenning gets loose for a 10-yard touchdown run to put you up 14-0. Had pretty good field position to start both those drives with.
We did. I thought defensively, Kevin, we played really well. Second half, they adjusted and attacked something we were giving them, and we readjusted. And I thought, with the exception of maybe the last drive, where I'm not sure that our gas tank had what it needed at that point, but I thought we played great defense. The first half was exceptionally well. And I thought we played great defense the week before. I mean, certainly the general fan will look at the 35 and say, that guy's crazy. But, we held a Webb City team to 152 yards rushing, and considering, 5 turnovers in different realms, I thought defensively we played very well in really both games. So, that's something to build on. And then offensively, we haven't played bad either in both games. We rushed the football exceptionally well in the first game, having a ton of first downs and yards. Same thing in this game. It's really all about right now just putting it all together and not blowing our foot off with a shotgun with turnovers and penalties and different things like that.
Final possession of the ball game after Joplin scores to take the lead. Under a minute to go, under 45 seconds actually, and you get the ball with a long way to go. You need 6, and you almost got there. You had the ball throwing it into the end zone on the final play of the ball game. Kind of take us through that final possession, the hitch and pitch and things that worked there.
Well, first of all, as most teams would do, we got kind of a prevent look. To our favor, we possessed 3 timeouts. Possessing the 3 timeouts allowed us to run the football in that situation, and so we get in a prevent defense. We're gonna have success running the football. So we were able to get some chunk plays on the ground with our timeouts, and then the execution of the hitch and pitch was excellent. Beckett with a really nice throw, and then catch and pitch, and Abe Allen did a great job getting a good gain on that. And then I thought the last play, Beckett threw a nice ball, gave us an opportunity on that corner fade, and that's all you can ask. And I think that just, amplifies the fact that our kids are just playing their guts out for Lebanon and battling all the way to the end, because it very easily they could have shut it down, and they didn't do that. And that bodes well for the future.
Another big night for Jackson Glendenning. We expect that each and every Friday night, and he produced once again at Joplin, didn't he?
Without question. Every week, I think we could just check that by it could be like one of your sponsors in the corner of the TV. Jack's dominated. Could be like the business. He's a freak. He's got as much heart and guts as any player I've ever coached. He just brings it. He's like Rocky Balboa, you know, in the Rocky movies, just going to keep swinging and punching, and really proud of him. And obviously with a lot of new starters on the offensive side of the football, he's with a primary veteran skill guy. And so everything's funneling through him right now. And so his attention that he's getting is heavy, but yet he's still producing. And so super proud of him. And obviously as an offense, we're working really hard to expand, to take some of the pressure off that. But it is what it is. And Jax is the kind of guy that can handle that load.
A 2-0 Neosho team comes to town this Friday night, so they're off to a good start. Talk about some of the challenges they're going to present to you.
Well, they've been very impressive. And obviously, you know, they have had their struggles over the last few years. And I think really the struggles that they have had have stemmed on their defense, where they had given up quite a few points. They have fixed that. They are playing really solid defense right now. In particular, their front. Number 75 is as dominant a defensive lineman as I've seen in a few years. 6'2", 315 pounds, and can move. Impressive. And so we're certainly going to have to get hats on that guy because he is creating havoc and turnovers. And they got a host of others in there, too, that are doing a great job. I've been impressed with their linebacker core. And then I think their back half has always been solid, very athletic. And so defensively, they are much improved than they were a year ago. Offensively, they're really about the same because they scored points since their head coach took over as he was the offensive coordinator at Joplin before. They've scored points from the start. So that's really nothing new for Neosho, and they're doing a great job. It all centers around their quarterback. The Spiva kid does a tremendous job, not only managing their RPO package, where their run game and then the quick passing game marry really well, but also his legs running the football, and then his vertical passing game is extremely good. And so very, very impressed with what they're doing offensively. And when we did advanced work on Neosho from the previous years, we knew they were going to be good on offense, and so that's not a surprise.
What's been the vibe and the attitude within the locker room since you came back to work on Monday?
Good attitude. I think our guys are in a spot where they know where they're at, and they know what we need to do. Clearly, we're disappointed. I mean, that's just human nature. I mean, we haven't started 0-2 since 2005, I think, or something like that. Not many times, anyway. And so there's a certain level of frustration, but what we're trying to do is channel that the right way into us getting better, and also take advantage of the fact that this is something we can really grow from. And I talked to our team as a coaching staff and players the whole time about, look, this really isn't about the win-loss column right now. It's more about us really improving as an organization in every single way. And it's something that's going to be a major benefit to us long-term. And long-term, I'm hoping certainly this year, right? So certainly that's our objective. And, if you look at years in past, certainly it's arguable that we didn't play any team as good as the last two we played until maybe district finals, quarterfinals, maybe one other conference opponent that could match up to that in a given year, but arguably 7 to 8, and maybe some years 9 games where we didn't play one team. No offense to that, or those teams from the past, but just the facts. Not one team maybe as good as what we've faced so far in this year. And we've hung. I mean, we haven't just been embarrassed. Obviously, we're not playing good enough football right now to win, and that's on me as the head football coach. And so we're going to continue to hammer away to get everything right. And I think that the growth is positive. And I know it's hard, and I know how fans are, right? All you got to do is watch the professional teams to know how the fans are. But truthfully, no offense to your viewership, I don't care what fans think. I am all about and dialed into what I know we need to do to get better and developing our kids and being transformational for our kids, and then just us traveling this journey. And I believe with all I have, we're going to get this thing right when it matters the most.
Coach, we'll see you Friday night. Look forward to the Neosho game.
Thank you, Kevin.
That'll do it for Jacket Talk Overtime on LEB TV, brought to you by Ginger's Wellness, by Mercy, also by Mid-Missouri Bank, and by Jacket Nation. We'll get things underway at around 6:45 on Friday night on Jacket Nation. And again, the community tailgate at Garner and Smith Insurance across from Lebanon High School starting at 5 o'clock this Friday. Join us again next week for another edition of Jacket Talk Overtime here on LEB TV.
You shouldn't have to give up the hometown bank experience to enjoy modern convenience. Just check our Google reviews about our in-person, online, and mobile banking experiences. Open an account in minutes today.
Welcome back, Yellow Jacket fans, to Week 3 of Chalk Talk, presented by Brickhouse Grill. Brickhouse is proudly owned and operated by the Knight family. It's located there on Elm Street. Please check out their new menu that they just introduced today. I had a Philly cheesesteak that was phenomenal, and they gave us 2 desserts. I don't know what they were called, but I would just suggest asking Kylie what desserts she would recommend, because she killed it on that. Stop by Brickhouse and check out the bingo night on Wednesday nights. Have a few coaches in the house there, as I think Coach Allen and Coach Weatherman of the baseball program make it out to bingo night often. So let them know that you're watching and listening, and we appreciate you guys there at Brickhouse. Coach Summer, welcome to Week 3 of Chalk Talk.
Yeah, glad to be here. Glad to talk some more ball with you guys.
Yeah, a couple early hiccups on the season, or on the schedule here to start the season. And as I talked with Coach Allen last week, it's easier for you guys on the staff than it is probably the kids and the people at home to stay focused on the process and just getting right for that playoff run.
Yeah, we're still working hard, and our kids got a good mindset. So we're back to work today and see if we can get better every week. That's the goal. That's the goal. Be our best playing by districts and by midseason, really.
I think everyone's probably going to get a little tired of us saying that, but it's the exact same thing we'd say if you were 2-0. Is that's a goal. It's obviously easier if you're 2-0 than 0-2. But something I was super impressed with in the hallways today was just kind of how upbeat the kids were and how good of a job you guys have done selling them on the truth. You know, it's selling them still, because there's 15, 16, 17, and 18-year-olds, and they've got all kinds of things in their ears. So getting them all on the same page and working towards the Neosho this Friday night at home, right?
Yeah, just doing their little things the right way in practice, and they're going to buy into that. They know the deal. The process of getting better every week and getting after it every day. So
speaking of little things, this is a play here. What do we call this? Belly?
Yep. So belly ISO. It's been a staple for us for a long, long time. Since we started running it in 15, this has been our best play and the most ran play we've ran. It's kind of a game ender for us. Also just kind of a staple physical play for us. It's kind of what we go to if
first play of the game, last play of the game.
Yeah, it's usually, people know it's coming, but it's still tough to stop. It's hard to stop, and if you've watched this play, people know it's coming. So,
and we talked a little last week about just kind of formationally. This would be flex for the people at home. We got a receiver here and a receiver over here that they're both lined up. You know, how far do you line them up off the tackles?
Usually 3. We do adjust a little bit, 3 yards from the tackle.
Okay.
They kind of adjust off that some, depending on what people are doing to us and different things. So
other than that, it's a pretty base formation for you, right? It's just flex, no other changes. Slots are normal, fullbacks normal.
Yeah, so it's just flex. So just like we talked about a couple weeks ago, and everybody else is the same.
We're going, let's see here. I'll run it a little bit. I think we're going to the right here.
Yep.
So we're running rockets, our motion
Rocket motion. So rocket motions, he's leaving a little bit earlier. We're selling rocket toss with the slot, which we can also run out of this, motion. So
that motion there is kind of designed, this motion here that we're talking about, we're starting here and coming this way. early, right? You want
Yep.
them early.
Early and
And
fast.
fast.
Early
And then
fast motion.
Who are you trying to draw with that? This
Just
guy
a
here?
step. We just want some eyes. It's all about eyes, and people got to honor that. I
Just
mean, if
one
you-
step's all you need.
yeah, and even if they don't, it's still a good
about
play.
it. Yeah. You're still numbers up. So let's so we're there. Motion's good. Quarterback's reversing out here.
Yep. So reverse out by the quarterback, just like you would on rocket toss. So it kind of looks the same there. Obviously, the slots and the O-line and the receivers aren't doing the same thing as they would on rocket toss, which I'm sure we'll talk about it
Yeah,
eventually.
absolutely. Probably next week.
The slot there is reading that tackle, so we read it, whether he's pinching or
So that slot's reading
the tackle and the
these two here. Right?
Yep. So if
I
he's
can't draw. There we go.
perfect.
It's pretty good.
That is. It's a nice little tool. So they're reading that guy. If he's widening like he is on this one, this makes it just an easy
Little
read for the
easier.
slot. And then got right there, 16, I believe.
Yeah, he steps, huh?
Looks like he moved out. A lot of people moved out. This is like 3rd and 25, so not a good situation
That's
for
true.
us
That's
or
true.
anybody in football. So
So they
can't put
see
ourselves
motion
in that
here.
spot.
It's pretty natural for this kid to think,
Yeah.
I better get out there to the toss. They're not going to hand it off inside. And sure
Yep.
enough, you do. And you block it up really, really nice.
Yep, we got our backside up. Looks like we got some big time scooping on the backside to get up and seal off 47 there on the backside linebacker.
What do you call this block from, is this Braden Christian here?
Yeah, so that's our insert block.
Okay.
He's an insert
So he's
in there.
inserting inside that B
Yeah,
gap.
and he's got a gap, not a guy. Just
Yeah.
kind of like what we talked about on Utah. He's more of a gap. If that guy flies out, he's got the next guy that comes to him.
So Braden is, sorry for those at home here. I got to draw more, I've been told. This is Braden.
draw.
I'm drawing, dude.
Yeah.
Let's go.
Right on.
There's Braden, and he's inserting inside this B gap here.
Yep.
And he's got a path, you're saying,
Yeah,
basically.
a path, not necessarily a guy.
So if this guy reads it and he's inside filling, that's going to
Yep.
be Braden's guy.
Yep.
But when he leaves, Braden does the right thing and fills
yep,
up inside.
he's got whoever's left. Gets
That's-
on that guy enough to
I think that's pretty
Get a
much how you have
two-way.
it drawn up down
Yep.
there inside.
a two-way go there, and then getting the ball in a dude's hand that can make it
36.
happen.
Right.
So
Yeah, pretty good. The backside you're talking about here. So we're running
Yep.
to the right. Play's going right, motion's going right. This backside guys, and when I talked to you after week 1, maybe some backside guys that were working hard, just kind of
Yep.
working hard for the wrong reasons. And this is a little better job.
we've
scooping.
gotten better there. We did get called a little bit for some backside stuff that we got to clean up, but I think that's why we were in that spot right there. But we'll clean that up.
chop block maybe
Yeah,
or something.
we get that cleaned up, and
Yeah. Yeah. And really, you asked the week before, hey, we got a backside scoop. They backside scoop
They
and
did
they
a
did
good
it.
job.
Yeah.
And-
So then we just adjust again. That's football.
yep,
That's coaching. I think every coach has dealt with that. So
definitely. And then making a guy miss. I mean, he didn't get touched for the first 15, 16 yards. So
yeah, you're going to have a pretty good play anytime you can get jacks that free.
yep,
Here it is from behind. You can kind of see the fullback steps here and how early the motion is. You can see some of the defensive line stuff that people are doing to you guys, trying to get these guys up front, size in the wrong place. But like you said, they're all to pass, right?
besides the guard. I mean, he's really got. So this
He's
is
got him.
Yeah, so they would have called this an even front. He's got that guy, and they can kind of double off on that. It's a combo block for us.
You can really see it here at Braden Christian's insert,
Yep.
where he starts.
This is the
This
view
end
that
zone
we
shot's
like.
pretty sweet.
That we like a lot for our alignment and our slots if we're running the ball inside, which we've
Yep.
done quite a bit so far.
A pretty good job there from Braden. And you
Yeah.
guys talk insert, breakdown, lock up, good job, and then the backside's open, and 36 is off to the races. Coach, I really appreciate you
Yeah.
again. Just keep hanging with us, and
Yeah.
we'll teach you some football, and hopefully as everybody learns some stuff here, they can apply it to their – I know there's a bunch of dads that have reached out to me about how Chalk Talk has already helped them with Mighty Mike coaching, and you guys have done a really good job with clinics and stuff for those guys, but there's 40 coaches down there that have jobs and wives and kids, and you guys have the same. One more
Yeah.
way to get them a little bit of idea on what the offense is going to look like for the next 15 years and how we're going to keep taking the next step. So
Yeah, and that's where it starts. We want to help those guys down there as much as we can. They're always welcome to reach out to me anytime they want. I'm always available. And they do a great job with those kids. I know it can be difficult at times, but loving on those kids down there and giving our keeping our numbers where they need to be.
Yeah, I'm giving everybody an opportunity, I think. They get started this weekend, so I know
Yeah,
there's
it'll be
some really
exciting.
cool Jason's already kind of pitched some ideas to Boyer and Ramsey here about some ideas that we can do to help get them. I think we're going to do some streaming of those guys and get them out there so grandparents
awesome.
and stuff can see. So definitely check them out. And Coach, I appreciate you for having us.
Appreciate it.
Appreciate you coming on. And we'll catch up with you here in a few weeks.
Yep, back on track.
Yep. Thank you.
Yep.
Thank you guys for tuning in this week. New episodes of Jacket Talk every Thursday, along with Jacket Talk Overtime episodes airing on Friday with Lebanon head football coach Will Christian and Kevin Stubblefield. I believe that's all the time we have for today, so thank you guys so much for tuning in, and until next time, go Jackets.
Welcome to Jacket Talk on LEB TV.